Hello devs, welcome back to Small Square. As for today's video, we will add a collider for our generated path and add another bond for removing generated path. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that this tutorial, along with many other exclusive projects and resources, is available on our Discord channel. It's the perfect place to engage with our community and access exclusive content. Just head over to our Patreon to get instant access. If you find value in what we do and want to see more content like this, consider supporting us on Patreon. Every contribution helps us to keep creating and sharing knowledge with our amazing community. Alright, let's go back to our video. First, go to your buttons game object, set the pos x to 0.25, and for our pos y, let's set this one to -4, set the width to 15.51, open your path drawer script, we declared a public variable here that has an integer data type. This will help to determine which path is currently on collision. On drawPath method, we need to check if there's an Edge Collider 2D. If it's empty, then we will add Edge Collider 2D component. After adding Edge Collider 2D component, we will now set the Edge Collider 2D offset to its default. Now we need to also pass the points to the Edge Collider 2D points and convert this to array. Inside our for loop condition, we need to set the points of the Edge Collider 2D, and by subtracting 290 from both x and y, it will use to align or position the collider relatively to the visual representation of the line renderer. On path generate handler script, we declared a singleton so other classes can access the methods and variables that are in public. We need also a list that will store the newly created path game object. This will track the current number of paths created. On our awake method, this set the reference of the instance of the script. Inside onInspector GUI method, we have to create a button that will remove all the path game object. If remove all path button is clicked, then this will iterate all the path game object from the list of my list of paths. Each time it iterates, it will destroy the path game object. After destroying the path game object, this will remove all the stored path game object from my list of paths. We have declared a new method here named remove path. This will remove a specific path game object and it has an integer parameter named item num. This destroys the path game object and remove a specific element from my list of paths, which depends on the value get from the item num parameter. In this line, it will set new value for the current number, which will count the remaining elements from my list of paths. Inside this for loop condition, this stores the new value of my current number from the path game object that has a path drawer script component. To create a text field on our inspector, we have to declare a string variable. If the remove specific path button is clicked, then it will call now the remove path method, and let's pass a value where we get the value for text field, name this field, and deduct this by 1. On our generate line method, we have added some line of codes here. In here, we get the current count of path game object from the list of my list of paths. This will add new path game object to the list of my list of paths. Each time this method is called, this increment the value of the current number by 1. And by adding new path game object, it needs to update also the value of my current number to the value of the current number. This will serve as an ID or identification of our path game object. Back to our Unity editor, let's remove the path that we created last video, and let's select our path handler game object. As you can see here, we have now added 2 bonds for removing the path game objects. And if we try to create a path, what you see now is a thin green line, which is the default color of our collider. And if we select again the path handler game object, and let's create another path game object, let's click the remove all button, it will remove the path game objects. And if we try to create another path again, and let's set the value here to 1. This will remove the first path game object. Now let's click the remove specific path button. It works perfectly. On the next video, we will work on the touch movement for a tracing alphabet. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below, share with anybody you believe this might help. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be notified.